G'day everyone and welcome back to NS2HD. In this video I'm going to be continuing the tradition I started with Build 152, which is to make first impressions videos. I.e. this will be my second first impressions video because I didn't make one for Build 153 because that was a pretty minor quick fix patch. Build 154 is a big leap again. It's not as big as Build 152 from Build 151, but it's pretty big. It definitely warrants this first impressions video. As you can see, the first thing I did was jump into a pub server and get shotgunned in the face over and over again. It was about 3 times before I decided to hide in this egg, wait for him to come close, and then kill him like a sneaky bastard. But he deserved it because he killed me so many times. Anyway, Build 154. This video is pure, unadulterated first impressions gameplay. I haven't edited anything out. Normally when I make feature videos, I do avoid the bigger bugs because I try to stay focused on what it is I'm trying to make the video about. In this video, I've shown it all in its gory detail. So this is a pretty harsh video, and if this is the only NS2HD video you've watched, make sure you watch other ones because this one shows NS2 in a pretty harsh light because I'm deliberately showing bugs. These bugs don't pop up all the time, but I want to show them now because this is my first impressions of Build 154. Now you'll see that a lot of bugs we're familiar with from earlier builds still remain. For example, Macs are disobedient little bastards. I could not get this guy to build a res node for the life of me. It's been a particular problem with that res node and Macs in general. Fun bug was a Marine firing a flamethrower will cause flames to come out of the armory from which he bought the flamethrower, which is a really interesting bug. I'd love to know what the programming is behind that. It's very interesting. Little things like that. But what does happen in Build 154, what is drastically improved, and where the work has gone in, is in frame rates. And we all know, the people who've been playing the alpha or watching these videos or getting their information elsewhere will know that the frame rates in Natural Selection 2 alpha have not been great. And the good news is Build 154 could yield you a boost of up to 10 to 15 frames depending on what you were getting before. I was getting about 22 to 28 before the patch. Now I get about 32 to 35, depending on where I am on the map. But people who were getting almost no frames before this patch are now reporting that it is playable for them. They can actually get in and have a game. So that's an excellent sign. It's a sign of all the work that Unknown Worlds has put into this build and getting it actually playable. And there's a lot of new features that have been dumped in as well. You can see here that I saw a Mac building an observatory, so I decided I'd just sit there and record it rather than snipe the poor Mac. So I decided to wait until he'd finished building an observatory before I sniped the Mac with the lurk snipe. But there's the observatory, clearly a pro NS1 player because I put it in the corner there towards alien spawn. It's in and I'll cover that in a later video. And there's a lot of other quick new features lying around in Build 154. I won't go into detail with them here. Look out for future videos where I'll cover them all, such as infantry portal transponders, which is a new one. Now, what has not improved significantly in Build 154 is their netcode, and I don't know if I'm using that term correctly because I'm not a technical dude, but network lag is still a big issue. Here is some really harsh gameplay that I've just recorded and put up on YouTube straight away. It is lagging all day. And this was in a game where there were a lot of assets on the board, there were a lot of players in the game, there was a lot of spam happening, big fights happening, and the server just ground to a halt, as you can see here. This isn't what happens all the time in Build 154. There are times when you can have great gameplay, just like you could in Build 152 and 153. It really depends on getting into a server with maybe 6 to 7 people, to 8 people, not spamming assets all over the place. Anyway guys, that's all I've got here for first impressions. Look out for future videos covering Build 154's new features and performance. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out unknownworlds.com.